Hi, I'm Tom R., and welcome back to Village Connect. We are here for our final lesson in our study of the Gospel of Mark. I hope you have enjoyed it. In this lesson, I want you to read chapter 16, verses 1 through 8. When you have finished reading those, come back and we'll begin the conversation. So scholars agree that even though you probably noticed in the Bible that there were more verses in chapter 16, scholars agree that Mark's writing ended with verse 8, that those other verses were added later by Mark's community or other congregations. And so some things to notice about this. The resurrection ends with Jesus saying to the women, "Go tell my disciples that I will see them in Galilee." And then it says the women said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. And that's how the Easter story ends in Mark's gospel, which is a kind of odd way to end this story. And some have speculated, well, maybe part of it got torn off, or maybe Mark died before he finished writing it, but I don't think so. I think this was very intentional. If you go back to the very beginning of the gospel, the first word in Mark's gospel is beginning. It says the beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. I think that first word describes the entire Gospel of Mark. The whole 16 chapters is just the beginning of the Jesus story. Why? Because Jesus is resurrected. And if Jesus is alive, his story continues. And what Mark knows is the only part of that story he can tell you is the very beginning. And so it ends abruptly because he's signaling to us that the story continues all throughout the life of the church. And right now, the gospel pen is in your hand. You are the one who is continuing to write the Jesus story because he is alive in you and in me. And so we are part of this ongoing life of Jesus. There'll be those who come after us, and we will hand that gospel pen to them as well. Mark has told us the beginning, and we have but a moment in this long story, but you are the only one who can tell the gospel story with your life. You are the only one who can be Christian with your life. Mark believes in that. He expects that the story continues in you and in me.